a man came and sat directly behind the Prophet Muhammad. Suddenly, the Prophet ﷺ understood what this man wanted. The Prophet ﷺ then lifted the cloth from his waist. The man saw a mark on the Prophet ﷺ back, and as soon as he saw it, he began to cry. Seeing this, all the Muslims were astonished, wondering what was happening. The Prophet ﷺ then asked the man who he was and what his story was. The man began narrating his story and said, "I am a slave of a Jewish man in Medina. But I was not always a slave. In fact, I belonged to the world superpower, at that time the Persian Empire, where my father was a great chief. This man later became one of the greatest companions, and his name was Salman al-Farsi radiyallahu anhu." Early life, Hazrat Salman al-Farsi was born into the household of a nobleman of the Persian Empire. Because of this, he never had to work in his childhood and lived like a prince. He spent his days worshipping fire. Because the religion of the Persian Empire at that time was Zoroastrianism, in which people worship fire. When Salman al-Farsi grew older, one day his father sent him outside on an errand. On the way, he saw a building from which strange sounds were coming. When he entered, he saw some Christians worshipping God. Their voices and way of worship deeply impressed him. He spent the entire day in that church and eventually left his ancestral religion and accepted Christianity. So inspired was he that he asked them, where did this religion come from? They told him that if he wanted to learn true Christianity, he would have to leave the Persian Empire and go toward the Roman Empire. Journey for truth. When Salman returned home and told his father everything, his father became furious and chained him inside the house. But Salman had already made up his mind. Somehow he freed himself, escaped, and left the Persian Empire for the Roman lands. There he became a student of a senior Christian scholar. After some time, he realized that this scholar was corrupt and was collecting charity in the name of religion to fill his own treasury. When the scholar died and people gathered to honor him, Salman exposed his hidden wealth in front of everyone. The people, instead of burying him, hung his body on a pole and stoned it. After him, a new scholar came, one whom Salman described as truly righteous. When this scholar was on his deathbed, Salman asked him to guide him to another righteous scholar. He directed Salman to Iraq. Salman went to Iraq, then later to Syria, then to Turkey, each time studying under a pious scholar. When the last of these scholars was about to die, Salman asked again for guidance this time. The scholar said, "After me, there will be no major scholar left upon this true path. But the time has come for a new prophet to appear." He then described the signs of this prophet. He would follow the religion of Abraham. He would be born in Arabia. He would migrate to a land filled with date palms. That land would lie between two volcanic mountains. He would not accept charity, but he would accept gifts. There would be a unique seal of prophethood on his back. After saying this, the scholar passed away. Enslavement and arrival in Medina. Hearing these signs, Salman packed his belongings and planned to travel to Arabia. He met an Arab caravan and agreed to give them his livestock in exchange for taking him to Arabia. But when they reached Arabia, the deceitful caravan member sold Salman as a slave. A Jewish man bought him and took him to Medina. Gradually, Salman noticed that Medina had many date palms and lay between two volcanic mountains. He realized this matched the signs he had been told. One day, while Salman was working in his master's orchard, he overheard his master's friend angrily saying, "The people of Medina have gone mad. They are following a man who claims to be a prophet. He has just arrived from Makkah." Salman says that upon hearing this, he almost fell from the tree out of excitement. He rushed down to ask more, but his Jewish master struck him and told him to get back to work. Meeting the Prophet ﷺ, Salman knew this must be the Prophet he had been waiting for. A few days later, he went to the Prophet ﷺ and brought food, saying it was charity, sadaqah. The Prophet ﷺ told the companions to eat but did not eat himself. Salman thought, one sign is fulfilled. Later, he brought food again but said it was a gift. This time, the Prophet ﷺ ate from it himself. The second sign is fulfilled. Now only one sign remained, the seal of prophethood. Salman did not know how to see it, as he could not ask directly. One day, during a funeral procession, Salman followed the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ himself lifted his cloak and Salman saw the seal of prophethood on his back. Salman began to cry and narrated his entire story to the Prophet ﷺ. There, Salman al-Farsi accepted Islam, freedom and service to Islam because he was still a slave. Salman could not participate in the battles of Badr and Uhud. Later, the Prophet ﷺ asked him to negotiate his freedom. His Jewish master demanded 40 ounces of gold and 300 date trees. The companions helped him. Hazrat Uthman provided many trees and even bought land for them. The Prophet ﷺ paid the gold and Salman was freed. Battle of the Trench. When a Confederate army of 10,000 approached Medina, the Prophet ﷺ consulted the companions. Salman suggested digging a trench, a Persian military tactic. The Prophet ﷺ approved, and this strategy led to victory. When the Ansar and Muhajirun argued over Salman, the Prophet ﷺ said, Salman is neither from the Ansar nor the Muhajirun, he is from my household. Wisdom and leadership. Salman was known for his wisdom. Hazrat Ali called him the Luqman, the wise of his time. He helped translate the Quran into Persian and later became governor of Madain under Caliph Umar. Despite receiving a large salary, he distributed everything to the poor and lived simply. Death in his final moments, Salman asked his wife to perfume the room and open all doors, saying, "Honored guests are coming angels." Thus, Salman al-Farsi, who once fled Persia, secretly passed away as the governor of the very land he was born in.